I've recently had the mental battle of finding the balance between you need to fucking do better and I need to be more gentle. If you look at it in both extremes, one extreme is like you let everyone get away with everything and you hold a really low standard, and in the other extreme is you're a tyrant. At what point are you not pushing people to the standard, and at what point are you letting people get away with too much? I feel like sometimes all of a sudden I start to notice and I'm like, that shit, I could have did that better, that shit, and then I find myself, I feel like I'm swinging an axe at everyone.
This is where you might need to go, well, hang on, before I swing the axe, how about I just sharpen it?
Do you ever feel like, you got to ask yourself, like, am I asking for too much here?
Very interesting question. I don't think I've ever asked myself that with an employee.
It's hard to know where to stop.
Yeah.
It's like, at what point are you tyrannical and you're like, this guy's a fucking Nazi? Or at what point are you like, dude, like at this rate, you're not going to get anything fucking done?
The standard you walk past is the standard you accept.
That's just a question that's in my head, man. It's like, how do you know when enough is enough?
Hey, I've dressed up for the occasion.
You have dressed up.
Now, the only way you would know that if you're listening to this is if you're watching it on YouTube, which you all should do right this second. Go to YouTube and subscribe to $1 Million Days because we are trying to get to 1,000 followers by Christmas. So if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a fantastic opportunity for you to jump over to YouTube and click that red button. And you can jump on the bandwagon where you'll get all the fantastic content for $1 Million Days. How are you?
Me? I'm, you know when you have to sometimes stop and think about how you are? I don't think we do that enough in life. Like, actually stop. And not when someone's walking past you and says, how are you?
Yeah.
Don't give me your life story. That's, if you do that, you're rude.
And you just keep walking.
Yeah, you're rude. No, I was being polite.
Yeah.
No, you no, I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
Are you busy? That time of the year?
Yeah, it's kind of, it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Lots going on. Always a lot going on. A lot of people are really focused on closing out the year because a lot of people take the holiday over this period of time, especially in the construction space. But I'm sure in the digital space too, you'll probably take a little bit of time off.
No, we work through, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, we don't like
No cruise.
shutting for the main days.
This is the main days, the public holidays. You'll
Yeah.
start and then just work every other day.
Yeah.
Why don't you have holiday? Is that because all your team anyway?
Well, it's like posts still need to go out. Stuff still needs to happen.
You can't automate that?
You could schedule in advance. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could just say, hey guys, we're closed during this period. Or do you still have clients that have things over that period of time?
There's lots of elements. We get to catch up a lot. We do a lot of internal stuff throughout that period as well. Yeah. Why do we have to close?
You don't have to. I personally like that time of the year because the whole industry shuts down. It's like nothing's happening. So it's not like I should be progressing or there are things that should be happening on site or in the office or whatever it might be. So I actually quite enjoy it. It's probably the one time of the year I genuinely get to switch off completely and just focus on holidays. I still work throughout that time, don't get me wrong, and I'll probably be in the office some days and you'll see me here. I'll definitely be wearing shorts and probably going to the beach not long after. But them's the breaks.
But what?
Them's the breaks.
Okay. So do you think that's not falling into like mediocrity? Like in the sense of like, hey, you should take this time off.
Yeah, but whether I take it off, I enjoy it though. So
what? I'm sure people who work 9 to 5 enjoy it.
Yeah,
I'm sure people who take their weeks of annual leave.
It depends what you want, like what fills your cup at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, I could take 3 months. Okay, then I could take 3 weeks off during the middle of the year and go to Europe or something like that. But I tend to like that time of the year. I don't feel like I'm buying into anything. It's convenient, if anything, for me to spend some time doing that. But I'm still working. As I said, it's not 10-hour days like I'm doing now or whatever it might be. It's work as I please.
Do you reckon your team enjoys it?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't specifically asked them, but it's always nice to recharge the batteries. People do tend to come back fresh after the break.
Are you hanging for it?
Nah.
This year?
No, not specifically. Just another time. I'm not overly stressed as far as work is concerned. We finished some significant projects. We're trying to get other ones started. There's always something to do. Always. There is never a dull moment. But yeah, we don't have any milestones coming up as far as we got one project which will finish before Christmas. And that's about it, really. But even then, like it's pretty much done now. It's just the tidying up of the last bits and pieces on the project, and then that's it. Then focusing on the new ones coming up next year.
Yeah, okay. Nice. What made you bring that up?
Which?
I feel like everyone's thinking about Christmas.
Probably. It's in the construction space. It's just, I find that particularly trades as well, because they're all booked out. There's only a certain amount of days left and so much work that has to be done. And every builder is calling everyone to come in and do everything. It's like every phone call I make, it's like, hey, how are you? Oh, flat out. How are you? Busy. Oh, I can't keep up. Don't have enough hours in the day. It's the same story with a lot of people in that space.
You actually just made me think of something. So we consult for we've got a client where we just consult for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we just give them guidance and strategy and direction, but they do the do. Okay, and they've got team members in their team to carry out all of the heavy lifting.
Yep.
And I meet with them a couple times a week. So I sit down with them a couple times a week, make sure that, everything's in line, everything's going. And we actually had that conversation that we just spoke about then. And because they're closing.
Yeah.
So they're in a construction space and they're closing for 3 weeks.
Yep.
And I said, cool, like what's going on with the
3 weeks, the ads, everything.
Yeah. They're not running ads, but like your social media,
Yep.
you got newsletters, you got all this other stuff that we're doing at the moment. What's going on with it? And then they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we need to, like, what are you going to do? He's like, no, we'll just sort it out when we get back. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I started and I said, like, why are you not now doing something about that? Right? And then he's like, oh, that's a lot of posts. And I was like, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of people look at that, they take that, again, you're sort of falling into that mediocrity. Oh, no one else is doing it. Perfect. Like, great opportunity for you to be front of mind.
Yeah, but I also like found that to be like how much do you want to switch off?
Yeah.
Like, how much are you going to switch? Like you are like, you're doing what you've got to do to get to the end of the day.
Yeah.
You're not doing what's required. Do you know what I mean? And I found that really disappointing. And I see it across the board. I see people who, I don't know, can you tell me if you see this much in your previous team or team you may have now? Probably more previous team, I'd say, but where you ask them, you're like, hey, okay, cool, you got to do this. Like do A and then do B and then do C and then do D. And then like once you get to like E, they start not doing A. Have you ever had any experiences like that, or has there been anything that you've noticed in your time?
Yeah, sometimes like a task that's might be like as in it's beneath them. Is that kind of something that you're thinking of? So say the A task, I don't know, sweeping the floor. Say for a supervisor, he could very easily do that, but now he doesn't do it anymore because he's too busy doing other things. Not that he should be doing. I'm just a random example, but I'm just saying something that they could very easily do if it was a 2-minute job just to do something. They won't do it because that's not my job anymore.
That's probably culture more than anything else. But more so like I felt like the standards that this person was being held to weren't high enough.
Is he the owner of the company?
Nah, the owner's a weapon.
Yeah.
And the owner actually, so him and I were having a conversation about this because we were talking about the whole situation. And I was saying to him, like, yeah, man, like, I noticed this, and that. And then he's like, okay, why don't we do this? Like, he's like, why are we not doing this much? And I turned around to him and I said, yeah, look, we can do that much, but probably for this person, it's probably going to be more like this much. Right? And then he's like, no, I don't care. And I thought, all right. you're fucking right. Like, we should be doing that much.
Mm.
You know, and I've recently had the mental battle of finding the balance between you need to fucking do better and I need to be more gentle.
Gentle how?
I'm nurturing, offering more.
Of the client or, the person you're consulting with? Okay.
Everyone, just in general. Like, you know, their team. You know what I mean? I always tell myself, I'm like, hey, I feel like fucking shit's not happening fast enough.
Yeah, I
You know
feel
what I
like
mean?
that a lot.
Oh, dude, so much. But then it's like, at what point are you, if you look at it in both extremes, one extreme is like you let everyone get away with everything and you hold a really low standard. And then the other extreme is you're a tyrant and you're like, hey, what time do you start? 8:30. It's 8:31.
Yeah.
You should be working now, not making a coffee.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Two opposite ends of the spectrum. How do you find the balance in between with that? You know what I mean? Because on one point, he was saying something like, he goes to me, hey, he goes, this particular client, he's like, I spoke to so-and-so the other day. He's like, asked him, what'd you do today? And he said he made 10 reels. He goes, and I thought to myself, 10 reels is not enough. Like, it's not enough for a single day. He's like, so I went, he goes, and I made a reel and I posted it. He goes, and it took me 12 minutes. The whole process, shooting, editing. He's like, CapCut, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I put it together.
This is the owner now?
Yeah. He's like, I did it all on my phone. He's like, I put it together. I added the thing. He goes, in 12 minutes, I went from having nothing to posted. And I was like, he's like, so why can they only do 10 a day? And I was like, okay, cool. You can say, you know, you get writer's block, or you get blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to cut the creative.
Yeah,
the creative comes into play as well. Like, what
Yeah.
are you actually doing? Like, to think of 12 different videos and to execute
different
it.
styles. Blah,
And maybe some people are better at editing. I'm sure a professional editor would be better than this guy on his phone on CapCut.
oh, you'd assume so.
Yeah.
But it's like, at what point are you not pushing people to the standard, and at what point are you letting people get away with too much? Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does. Absolutely.
And I find myself in that, because like this is what I feel like sometimes. I feel like sometimes all of a sudden I start to notice, and I'm like, that shit. I could have did that better. That shit. And then I find myself, I feel like I'm swinging an axe at everyone. And then I think, you know what? I just need to just go away for a bit.
Do you? Or is it a level of, you're looking at that, right? You're saying that shit. Well, why? You know, we all, when we're on stage, I'm saying you want the A team. Like, you want a great group of people that are going to be high performers and doing the right thing. So if that's shit, does it get better? It's okay to be shit. Be shit. But the next time it's got to be better. If that same mistake keeps coming up, then I think that's a problem then. And a guy recently had a similar thing.
Mistake versus
a standard?
I could do this better. Like,
yeah, okay. But then if you can do that better.
The thing on, like, the thing, like, another example is like, it's not even like quality of work. It could be behavioral aspects where you start to think, like, I would not let myself do that. Like, I wouldn't let me do that.
Is it an experience thing or age thing?
It can, in some cases, yeah. Some cases,
some cases it would be. I mean, you're a very well educated person as far as personal development.
So my question becomes,
stuff like that.
Where do you draw the line? Because not everyone's. I understand that not everyone's going to do what I do.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. So if
where do you draw the line?
Closer to that, well, you're going to have a standard, aren't you? As in, you're going to have a base, like the 8:31. But if it gets to 8:55,
okay. So then, is that the rule? Is that 25 minutes? Like,
yeah. That's what's your standard? I suppose you have to. You have to determine
what is
that.
it?
Well, you got to. That's a personal question, isn't it? There's no one rule fits all, and you can have that thing. And it's also that whole concept of when I said about working 4-day weeks and 5-day weeks. It's like, well, if the person does the amount of work they need to do in 4 days, why not have the 5th day off, as opposed to coming in and working and doing more work? So it becomes that question too. as far as what's their execution. When they're here, are they performing? Like, what's the go? So, yeah, I think it's something you need to assess and go, well, this is the standard. And then you got to communicate that to everyone. Tomorrow, I've got a quarterly meeting with all of my employees in the office at about 2:30 or whatever it is. So it's the first time I've done it in a long time where I had the quarterly meeting a quarter ago, and we're back now doing it again just before the end of the year. The process to finish the year, I'll talk about some educational stuff and standards, and we really reiterate, hey, this is our base, or this is the expectation. The very first time I did it, there was a level of, hey, the expectation is you guys are on site, you're in the office at this time. You're there, prepared, ready for the day, not I'm going to rock up at 9 o'clock, I'm not going to rock up at 8:30, or I'm going to rock up at 7:05. No, you're there early. And sometimes if you don't tell them that, it's either they'll fall into bad habits or they'll think, Robbie doesn't care. He'll be all right. He's pretty chill as long as I do my work. But maybe inside it's eating you up. See, they may not know how you're thinking, or they definitely don't know how you're thinking. So what is that standard that you want to set? And then communicate that to the team and go, this is what I expect of you working here. Now, are you going to go down the Steve Jobs route, or are you going to go down?
That's what I'm saying. So where do you draw the line? You said it's a personal question. I'm asking you personally.
So when you say draw the line,
so
we're talking about the
Steve
start
Jobs
time, like start time, or like what are you talking about, a specific thing? Because there's so many factors to it, isn't there? It's not just, it can be start time,
So
it can be.
What's the difference between two separate things? Is it just what they mean to you?
Is it the outcome? Like, what's the outcome of that standard being met?
No, but you can't. You, out of all people, can't say that because you don't let people work from home.
Yeah. No way.
It's not
You're not fucked, are you watching? Apply with it. Yeah, not working from home.
It's not an outcome thing.
Fuckers. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I'm asking the question. Like, what is
I
it?
know
What's
we're talking.
There's so.
Well, do you have anything that rings a bell in your head?
Okay. So say, let's go. I'll reference back to the construction to a construction site. If I had a supervisor that was rocking up to site 7:05,
what time do your supervisors start on site?
the supervisor should be there at least 6:45.
Okay, and then
10 to
realistically,
7, 6:45. Like,
Yeah.
if they're rocking up at 7:05 and there's trades there before them, that's unacceptable. I don't like that. Annoys me. You should be the very first one on site every single day. You're the leader of that team building that house. So you need to be there and be prepared for the day, because a trade will drive on site. So a truck rocks up. He'll rock up on site. He'll dump the material at the front, block access for everyone. All right, but if you were there at 6:45, you would have told him, hey, dickhead, don't dump it there.
does that actually happen?
Oh, man. Or even just they reverse back and they break a Telstra pit. Right? They'll drive over it, and that's happened heaps. Like, they'll drive over a pit they shouldn't, or they'll park somewhere they shouldn't, and they break something, or they reverse into something, or they block access, or whatever it might be. Now, that to me is a standard that if I went on site now, and I do this from time to time, so if boys you're listening, that happens, I'll drive to site and I'll be there nice and early, and I'll see what time they get there. Okay, so whether they're there before me or whether they're there after me, I'll then, okay, cool, what time did they get there? And I'll take that mental note. And I'll either bring it up with them, hey, you're not on the afternoon shift, you should be here already. I shouldn't have to open up this site. So that's a standard I have across the sites, because it's perception. People will see that this person is serious, he wants to get the job done, he's not mucking around. And then there's probably a whole range of things like that throughout the business.
Okay,
not just that particular
so
item.
Non-negotiable, you're saying?
Yeah, for me, if you want to be that on-site person, yes, that's what it's got to be. And then I like to have that standard here in the office as well. As far as the office does start a bit later, and it's like, well, say, okay, let's just make it 7:30. I don't want them to come in at 9, because that's 2 hours that the sites are open that they may need something for the first 2 hours in the morning. And generally the morning's the busiest time. Hey, I need this material. Hey, can you call this person? Can you speak to the architect? Can you do this? Can you do that? So I generally want the office team to be servicing the site teams. And in order for that to happen, they need to be here at a certain time. So if you're rocking up at 9 o'clock, then you've kind of missed the busiest part of the day for the guys on site. So there is that standard there too, as far as the office team is concerned. And again, this is where it becomes something like you got to communicate that to the team so everyone is on board. Because if one person rocks up at 9 or 8:30 or 7:55, regularly, it spreads. And then they're like, oh, well, Jason over here is doing whatever the fuck he wants. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. Oh, obviously George doesn't care, so I'll rock up at that time now too. And then it breeds that mediocrity. It breeds that entitlement that I'll do what I want. I work hard anyway. Oh, I'll stay back. And it's like, no, I'd prefer you to be here earlier and leave earlier as opposed to staying back. I don't need you to work till 7 p.m. I'd prefer you to be working when the sites are operational and there's things happening and there's people that you can be calling and actioning and all that sort of stuff. So for me, construction is an early riser job as well. If you don't like that, don't work in construction. Go and become a florist. Go work somewhere else that has a 9 p.m. start. Like, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't bother me.
9 a.m.
9 a.m., sorry. Yeah. So that's the other aspect of it. And, you know, sometimes you don't even notice it yourself because you're so busy. And it's not until an issue comes up that you go, okay, now I'm going to start looking at that. So say that person was rocking up late regularly and you didn't really know about it and you kind of let it slip a couple times because you went on site and they weren't there. Like, oh, sorry, I'm late. Just car broke down, baby vomited everywhere, dog shit itself, I don't know, whatever. I'm like, oh, it's all right, don't stress. Don't get me wrong. Like, if there's an occasion where it happens, because it does, I don't lose my mind. That's me personally. But if it was, you know, Steve Jobs maybe would have. Fuck you, you're fired. Elon Musk, fuck you. I don't care about your issues outside of work. Don't get here late. You're fired. See you later. But if it becomes a pattern,
lateness.
If it was a regular thing, absolutely, yeah, I'd go through the process, give them warnings, and then put them on that advice, like a performance plan or whatever has to happen. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're a supervisor on site and you have to be there. I think that's fair and reasonable because again, you're like the standard you walk past is the standard you accept. And I love that saying in construction because it's so relevant in everything you do. If you walk past something that's unsafe, well, you're accepting that as being unsafe for the rest of the employees, the rest of the subcontractors, and you accept that. Whereas if you see something as unsafe and it could hurt someone or kill someone, stop and get it fixed right away. Don't walk past it. If you see something is wrong on the build, stop and fix it. Don't walk past and go, oh yeah, hopefully we'll just paint over that and it should be all right. And it'll be all right. So yeah, there's been times in the past where I've had an employee who's not performing and then something comes up that then takes my attention and go, okay, I see that's happened. And then I'll go through it and go, cool, it's happened here. It happened there in the past. It happened there in the past. And now it's happening here and here and here. And then very quickly I'll make a decision whether I need to keep them or get rid of them or put them on a performance plan or bring them in the office and have a chat. I'm quite an empathetic person. Despite what people's perception of me might be or how much of a hard ass I try to be, I don't think I am that way inclined. I genuinely care about people, especially my employees. If you're working for me and you're a contributor, I care about you.
Empathetic doesn't mean
weak.
No, empathetic doesn't mean doesn't care.
No, as in, what I'm trying to say is I do care.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like, if you're not empathetic, does that mean you don't care? I don't think.
I don't know. I don't have a dictionary on me right now, but you probably ask Siri or chat. Regardless, it's the point I'm trying to make is I genuinely care about people. So maybe I would let those things slide more than I should. But when it does catch my attention, then I'll really focus on it, and then I move quickly.
Yeah, so that's my point. Do you find that something comes to your attention, and then it's like, the analogy I tried to give before was, I feel like I'm swinging an axe.
Yeah,
it's like all of a sudden I'm cracking down on that and that and that and that, and then you're like, hey, this might be me. Like, this might be now I've all of a sudden, a good way to word it is like, do you ever feel like at what point do you say I'm asking for too much here? Do you ever feel like, you know, you got to ask yourself, like, am I asking for too much here?
Very interesting question. I don't think I've ever asked myself that with an employee.
I'm sure there has been something.
There might have been something, but I haven't noticed it. Look, am I asking too much? I don't know. I tend to, and that's where.
But it's like, okay, so there has to be a boundary.
Yeah, there would be.
Like, you wouldn't ask your employee to work for 9 days straight with no sleep. Right? I know, really extreme.
Yeah.
But like,
yes.
you wouldn't ask them to work till midnight every night this week and be there at 5 a.m. Unless it was like a super urgent.
Yeah. And also they would get remunerated for it as well. It's not like I'd be doing it. Yeah. And that's it. Like, and you don't get any extra pay. You just have to do it. So yes, that would be unreasonable. Yeah. Yeah. So yes, there is that boundary, but I tend to push it a little bit. Like, that's why I don't think I've ever felt like that, because most of the time I don't ever ask ridiculous questions like that too, as in extreme questions like requests like that, sorry.
But, so then there's two sides of that coin. So you've never felt like that. So I've never felt like I'm asking for too much, but I also hold them to a high standard.
Yeah.
They're two opposite ends.
Yeah. It's...
So which one is it? Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's either you are not holding them to the highest standard because you could probably push them more.
Yeah, you probably could.
You get what I'm saying?
Probably could everyone. I think anyone can in that instance. Even yourself.
Me?
No, as in to yourself. You could put yourself to a higher standard.
Yeah, but like, so it's not about moving the goalpost. Like, you can always stretch, but it's like holding yourself to a high standard. So you're either not holding them to as high a standard as you could, or what was the other end? You're too empathetic and you're letting them get away with a whole bunch of shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you've
absolutely.
never had the thought. That means that you're either not pushing them enough or you don't care.
I reckon.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, you are. There's a balance. There's a line to it though.
What's the line? That's my whole question. Yeah.
Like, okay, guys, episode's over.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
but
what's the line? How do you work
have
out?
to sit it? I don't know. You've got to probably look at each element of your business. Okay, so look at the sales, look at the operations, look at the little things, the starting times, finish times, the way they manage their inbox, like really breaking it down and going, well, what's the standard for each of these areas of the business?
I'm not talking about like this might not be a specific individual.
No. I'm just saying within your organization now, I haven't sat down to say those things. There are a couple of little things, like as I said, starting times and certain ways, like even communication with clients will have that. Like I would never accept any of my employees speaking in a disrespectful way to a client. And
Of
even
course,
as far as
extreme.
yeah,
Extreme.
I know, but it could happen. Even as far as going, they should like not speaking like that to a subcontractor, all right? Because these people are here to work with us and for us, and there's got to be that mutual respect between both parties. Doesn't mean they don't yell at them or whatever. Like I'm sure it's happened before, but not in a disrespectful way. I wouldn't like there's those sorts of things that I would have there for sure. Coming back to what you said, as far as do you not push them enough? Yeah, I would actually say I don't push them enough. If I had to pick one of the two, because I do feel that they could do better. But then is that me saying, well, they're not at my level, so I need to push them more? I know it can be done. Here's the other thing. You've done what all your employees are doing now, yes? I've done it as well. So I tend to often compare them to what I was like when I was their age.
Yeah. So how do you draw? Do you get them? I think I'm unable to articulate the question properly. You do this thing, and you're like, cool, I can do it at this level. And let's call the level you do it at level 10.
Yeah.
This person comes in and does the same thing, but at level 6 or 7 or 8, whatever. Like, how do you know where it's like, I haven't been able to draw the line on particular things.
Well, do you need to look at what are they lacking to get to a 10? Where's the disconnect there? Is it experience? Is it time? Like, do they need that time to get to that level 10? Do they need to do the push-ups? Is it training? Is it you need to spend more time with them, showing them the rope, showing them how to be a 10? Because a lot of people will either learn through mistake or they'll just continue doing the same thing. If you ask them, or if they speak to a friend outside of work and said, like, rate yourself out of 10 on this task, they'll probably say, hey, I'm a 10, even though you're rating them at a 6. So this is where you might need to go, well, hang on, before I swing the axe, how about I just sharpen it?
Yeah, no, but I think you keep trying to put it down to like a single act or a single person. I'm talking across the board. Like where do you draw the line as to, because like the one end is like complete tyranny and it's like everyone in at this time, everyone at this level. And if you're not at this level, your head's chopped off.
Okay.
And the other end is like, it's all
I've
fine.
worked,
Are you happy?
I've worked with both extremes.
Yeah. And
As
it's like,
when I was an employee.
yeah,
I worked with the boss.
neither end is the correct answer.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Good. I worked with a boss once he was stereotypical builder, and the way he spoke to me, but also to even senior people at the company was, what the fuck are you doing? Hurry the fuck up. How come you haven't fucking done this? Like the way he spoke to you, you thought he hated you. He was that way inclined. He had a very authoritarian approach to management. And at the time I was very junior in my role, and I realized that his actions worked. Like he got performance out of people. He delivered projects on time, under budget. Like his management style was arguably working. It just didn't work for the long term because it got to a point for everyone that was working under him that was like, fuck this guy. I'm quitting. I'm not going to work for him on the next project. Like I don't want to be associated with him. So in the long term, it was really detrimental to him. Let's go the other extreme. I had a boss that didn't really give a shit. Like didn't care about what we were doing or how we were going about things. He was just like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, can you get this done? So I would subconsciously, maybe I'd know, he wants this done. I'll do it next week. I'll get it. I could get it done today, but I'll wait. I'll string it out until the end of the month. So what I found in my career is it's not one or the other. It's a blend. You have to blend the two. You're going to have, it comes down to like your leadership at the end of the day, doesn't it? It's like, how are you going to lead your team? And I'm sure there are tasks and there are times where you need to be that asshole and say, hey, pull your fucking head in. This is not how we operate. This is not what we do. And if you do it again, then you can find another job. Which one do you want? And then there's going to be times when you're like, hey, you know what, working really hard, have Friday off, let's chill out, let's go out for lunch, let's do coffees this week. Like you're going to have that blend, I think, of different leadership styles throughout the day, throughout the month, throughout the year. And I think it's also really important to ascertain how your employees like to be led and lead themselves.
So do you think you as a leader should flex for them?
Flex in...
As in flexibility?
Yeah. I think as the business owner, you need to have that flexibility for sure. For sure. All right.
Hold on. You said as the business owner.
Yeah. Well, assuming you're the head of the horse. Okay. And you're the leader of the company.
Do you expect a leader in the business to flex the same way you do?
They would be different. Without a doubt, they'll be different. I mean, they could be the same, but I think most people...
No, as in have the same level of flexibility. Like to say, you know how
if they're going to be in a really senior role, I think they need to. I think they're going to need to because they're going to need... So when I was young, I realized that although that guy that was really headstrong and had an abrupt way of dealing with people, I realized that two things. I wasn't going to be that type of leader when I became more senior, but also I needed to know how to handle people like that because the industry is full of them. You get those people in the space that that's how they act. That's how they are. They don't hate you. They just have white line fever. And when they're on site, that's what they do. That's how they operate. They get it done. And you just need to learn how to communicate with that. Now, if I had the same mindset as him, right, and my boss came up to me now and he goes, what the fuck are you doing? I'm fucking sick of this shit and going off at me. Say, hey, watch your fucking mouth. All right? Because I can easily get the fuck off here and you sort your own shit out. Those two people are going to clash. Those two people will never get along. Whereas if he came to me with that attitude, I say, hey, what's going on? Do you need a hug? I'll change my approach to him. I say, do you know we're on the same team? You know I'll do anything you need me to do and you know I'll get it done, don't you? He's like, yes. Well, then, right. Just take it down a notch. Leave it with me, mate. I've got your back. And then that person will be like, all right, cool. George is good. All right, just get it done, all right? Don't stress, mate. You're going to die early. I don't want you to die early. You're a good guy. I like you. That flexibility in my ability to change and deal with that person, I think is huge. And you're going to need to do that with your whole team. because each one of them are going to be different, how they like to be communicated to, and then also how they like to be led. Now, the more senior you get in an organization, you're going to need to have more of those skills as well.
How do you determine what are the things you be flexible on and the things that you're rigid on?
Is it values in your business? It has to come down to that too. You know, my values would be like starting early. Like a lot of people don't like, hey, yeah, come in at 9. I know construction companies where the office staff aren't in until 8:30, 9 o'clock. I worked at a company where they had that. The office people would start at like 8:30 and I was in the office at 7 a.m. every single day, like 10 to 7, quarter to 7 every single day in the office. I was there often before the bosses were. Or I'd be in there and I'd see them there, like they'd be working and hey, do you want a coffee? No, it's all good. So I think it comes down to your values and what you really want to get out of the business.
Your business values.
Business values, not personal values, yeah. What are the business values for it? And a lot of people don't do that. You know, when I do a training for branding and marketing, we go through mission and vision statements and values and all that sort of stuff. And it's not once have I sat down with the whole range of builders that I sit down with and have they gone, yep, this is my mission statement. This is my vision statement. These are our business values. They just don't know it. No, most people don't. Most people don't have that in place because it's like, well, that'll be what's it? Oh, we take pride in our work. Fucking everyone says that. Oh, we give great customer experience. Everyone fucking says that.
It's just the generic.
The generic shit. And it's not until you deep dive into it that you go, okay, this is actually what's important to me.
Okay, and let's just say, for example, you have an employee who is coming late. What's your process for handling it?
I'll bring it up with them, first of all, and it wouldn't be in an aggressive way. The first thing I'll be like, hey, you know our start times, yes? Yeah, cool. Well, you're consistently rocking up at this time. And I've noticed.
Yes, okay, how many times do you have to see it for you to turn around and be like, hey?
Look,
I would say initially turn a blind eye? Like
yeah, I think so.
Twice?
Yes, because I've done it often.
Oh yeah, you have. Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt, I'd be lying if I didn't say that. So yes.
So you'll see.
And this is where I say I let the line get blurred a little bit sometimes. Like, yeah, all right. But I notice every fucking time. Every time I'll know. Now, in the same token as well, it's like I've seen people do that, but then come in on a Saturday without me asking. Okay, cool. So they're realizing that. So I go, okay, you've realized that you've been a bit late this week, so you're coming in on a Saturday to catch up, or you're going on site and you're doing this on this day. So this is where there's a level of care there. But I try to explain to them too, it's good for your career as much as it is good for the company to be prompt, to be early, to be known as someone that can be reliable. You will get promoted quicker or you'll get other opportunities at other organizations, whether you decide to leave or you don't or whatever it is. So there's opportunities there for you to become the best version of yourself too.
So you sell them on it?
Yeah, I'll sell on them. So yes, I will, 100%. I would. Why not? I want them to be drinking the Kool-Aid. But yeah, I would bring it up with them, and I have done this in the past as well with employees. I'd say, well, what's going on? Is there something going on outside of work that's stopping you from getting here at this time? And we're like, yes. And they've said that. So yeah, look, this is why I've been rocking up. I say, oh, cool. Next time, my door is open. I'm not going to bite your head off. Come and speak to me rather than just going, I hope he doesn't notice. And I said this to everyone. I go, I see everything, guys. I may not see it day one, but it will get to me. It'll get to me eventually, either through another employee, through an A-grade employee that has a high standard. It says, hey, this person's dropping the ball. This person's doing this. This person's doing that. I think we need to look at it.
Do you have an expectation of your team to do that?
I don't have the expectation. You know what? Yes. I'll take that back. Again, if we're A-grade players, and I always say that, I actually feel my team's quite small given the amount of work and the complexity of work that we do. But I feel that the reason we're effective and still able to do that amount of work is because we have good quality people working at the business. So I think that goes a really long way. And if we're not all A-grade players and if we're not playing that type of game, I think that's where the others will get a bit annoyed at that, because A-grades want to play with other A-grades. Like the top people want to play, whether it's sport, business, anything, political, whatever it is, you want to be surrounded with the best people. You're trying to win the grand final. And you're not going to do that with juniors. You're not going to do that with people who don't give a shit. So, yeah, automatically on that basis, I want to, and I've been really thinking about this over the last, really, I think this year it's come to light more than ever before for me. Because we had 2 significantly difficult projects. They weren't easy jobs. They were the type of job that was just every day is a fucking battle. Every day. All right. And then what I saw with the team and how they performed on difficult jobs, their attitude towards it, the effort they put in, and I'm like, okay, you're a keeper. You've done really well. And seeing that was great for myself to say, okay, good, we've got a really good bunch of guys here working and girls working at the business. But then I find that they come to me. I haven't had to have the expectation. They've come to me on their own accord and said, this person's not up to scratch. This person's not doing this. Person's not doing that. My old man is very quick to say that too. They say, hey, this person's fucked, but he's a bit of a hothead anyway. So I sort of take it with a grain of salt. And he's an old school wog as well. So kind of take it with a grain of salt a little bit. But
Number one listener.
And subscribed on YouTube. Well done. That's who we should get on the podcast. But yeah, there's that element of it too. And I think that's a good thing. I feel that shows a level of care as well to the business, but also even themselves. Like, hey, I'm working like a dog. I'm working really hard. I'm working long hours. I'm working on the weekend. And you're coming in at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and you're leaving at 3. Like, no, we don't want that here. And if next year we'll be looking to employ people, we're on the verge of securing a large project, I'll put on at least another 2 people, maybe 3, probably 3 actually. And the people that I bring in, like I sat with a recruiter 2 days ago, and I said to him, I said, this person, I go, my salary isn't the roadblock here. What I'm going to pay them isn't the roadblock. I expect to pay them good money, but I also expect a really high level of performance too. I'm paying you for your skills. I'm paying you for your company. I'm paying you to be the best and do the best. And then I think, especially with new employees, it's probably a really great way to look at it. If you've got a brand new person coming into the business, I think it's important that you establish that line day one. So it's probably important for you to know what that line is and spend some time going, all right, these are my non-negotiables. These are the things that I'm okay with. But these are the core basic things that I need this person to do.
The line's different for everyone.
I reckon it's different for the type of person you're employing and the level of their skill set and seniorities. What is it? Seniority. Senior.
So, so you have different expectations from different.
Has to be. Yeah, I would. Absolutely.
When I say different expectations, I'm talking about the standard.
No, then in that instance, I would say no. From my leading hand all the way to the
like the level of standard I have to expect from you all is at this. This is the benchmark.
This is the benchmark.
And how did you decide what that benchmark was?
I'd say what's important to me. I would go off my own experience, off what I've seen work as well in a business, because we've been doing this I've been in construction for 25 years. So I've got a level of experience to say, okay, this has worked really well at this company. This is what I found as a common trait across all these successful businesses and what worked really well. So that's our standard. So I think a lot of it will come from your experience in that space too.
So
it's good because, again, ask me how many times I've thought about the standard this year. You know what I mean? It's good to have the chat and to then go out and execute on this. And same with you guys listening, you should really do the same thing. You should go, fuck, that's actually really important. Does my team know the standard for our business? Do they know what I expect from them? Because if they don't, there's a big disconnect there. They're going to make assumptions and their assumptions will be vastly different from what yours are and your expectations are. And then it's almost unfair for you to be going around and swinging the axe when they're like, fuck, I'm a 10. What are you swinging the axe for at me? And I had that happen recently, The person thought he was a 10. And they're like, I said, you're not.
When I say swinging the axe, I don't mean firing people.
No, I know. But even just
having
throwing grenades.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Exactly.
Or why, you know what I mean? You just start to notice.
Yes.
Have you gone through that?
Yeah, recently.
And it's
Recently,
like,
I noticed.
all of a sudden
That's
you're like,
exactly
what the
it was.
fuck?
Yes.
And then it's like, bang, bang.
Yes. And even when I noticed it initially, my first result was, no, this person's good.
Now, see, you'll say you keep, I don't know why, but you keep going back to the person.
Well,
It must
it's
be
the individual.
experience.
Yeah,
no,
but
no. So you obviously you don't do it and go and cause havoc across the board.
Oh,
Do you get what I'm saying?
okay.
Like you
yes,
walk in,
yes,
like,
it's
okay,
not. It's
so
not often
you
that
go
happens across the
site.
board. No,
you
not
go
for
on.
me.
Let's just
Yeah.
say, for example, you go on site. You're like, "What the fuck is this? What the fuck is that?" And then you leave that site, and then you might come to the office, and then you're like, "What the fuck?" Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like different projects, different.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
But is that you being in a certain mood?
I'm saying to
Yeah.
you, and that's what I end up saying to myself.
Yes.
And I say,
that
okay,
has-
hey, this might be me. I
Yeah.
might just need to take the day.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, I'm fucking.
I think that happens too.
Yes.
I think that definitely happens. And I'll give you an example now. Okay, go. No, you were about to talk.
Yeah, but I'm saying because then it comes to the point where I find myself saying that too much, and then I'm like, you know what? This isn't fucking me.
Yeah.
This is fucking shit.
Then that's when it's not you.
Yeah,
But if you have the one-off day where you're like that, yeah, absolutely. Like I've just started, the carnivore diet, and I'm 4 days in, going well, going strong. But I'm fucking hungry all the time. I called you last night. I was like, hey, you've done this for 3 months. What the fuck can I eat? I'm starving.
just eat more meat.
Yeah, I could have. Yeah, but I didn't go to get more meat. So anyway, aside from that, but what I have been doing is I've sort of been intermittent fasting. I eat at 6. That's my meal for the day. And then I don't eat until 6 the next day. So in between, I'm agitated because I'm hungry. And then I'll come in and be like, just fucking do this. And I'm like, hey, I'm hangry. That's me. I better take a step back. So yes, but even so, I've had times where I'm not hungry. When I'm not hungry, and I've acted like that too.
Yeah, but so do you see like there is because it again neither end of the spectrum is right, but like if you fall more towards the left side, and when I say left, I'm talking about being chill and
Yep.
It's like okay, you're probably not driving as much as you should.
Yep.
But then you can go full bore extreme and it's like, okay, well, that's on the right.
Yeah.
But it's like an Elon Musk would be very
Yeah.
right
Absolutely.
in the sense of he would be very, very driven, very high standards, very fucking get it done.
Yeah. Don't talk to
Very,
me till
this
it
is shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like it's hard to know where to stop.
Yep.
It's like, at what point are you tyrannical and you're like, this guy's a fucking Nazi? Or at what point are you like, dude, like at this rate, you're not going to get anything fucking done.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And how do you find
Self-awareness?
Yeah, but is it?
You're the one driving the ship.
Yeah, but awareness is just noticing. And you can notice and know where it's at. It doesn't mean you know where to go.
You're still driving though.
Yeah.
So,
But if you're driving and you don't have directions,
yeah,
you're just driving.
just driving, aimlessly. Yeah.
That's what I'm
So that's
saying,
I suppose what's the target?
To get
What's the
there.
destination? Like, what are you trying to achieve? You're trying to be the best fucking media agency on the planet. Like maybe there is a level of okay, I need to be harder. Then I have to have this standard if I want to be the absolute best on the planet. And
then how do you know, at what point do you know that, hey, this is a capability thing and not a, you know what I mean? It's like, because like not everyone can do, at what point do you expect people to do what you do? You get what I'm saying?
Not right away.
This is the mental battle
Yeah,
I'm having now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
kind of like, man, like,
and no one look. This is the thing, right? No one's ever going to be you. No one. Chances are,
yeah, but then
I hope they get better than you. I hope they get better than me.
Of course,
I'd love
yeah.
that. Like
But
that's what I want.
I
Or you
also-
got to bring. Maybe you have to bring that third person in that is better than you. To then, and what am I doing wrong? Oh, you're doing this, this, and this. All right, cool. Come in and fix it. I don't know. But I think the conversation's really good that you're having with yourself. That's for sure.
how do you provide feedback?
To employees and all that sort of stuff.
Anyone, contractors, employees, what's your process for that? This is all about holding people to a standard.
Yeah.
This whole conversation has been around that.
Yep.
And it's like, how do you lead in a way where you don't swing too much one way, but you also don't swing too much the other. And it's like, what's the maybe there
I
is-
think it's honesty plays a big part in it. A lot of people are scared to hurt someone's feelings when it comes to feedback. I think you'd be honest and have that conversation up front and say, look, this is the...
so direct.
I'd like a more of a direct, like rip the Band-Aid off. Why pussyfoot around it? Because I think you need to be direct and so they understand. Because they might, and this has happened to me before, I was direct with someone and then they highlighted things to me that I didn't know. I'm like, actually, you raise a really good point there. Yeah, you're right. I tell you, okay, now that I understand that criticism I'm making of you, I kind of understand where you're coming from now. So that's good too. But I think, initially being direct, I think is really, really important.
It's definitely...
in my experience, that's been the best to date. Hard conversations, man. People don't like having hard conversations.
Oh, dude,
what is it? Pain delayed, something like that. Pain delayed is pain intensified, something like that.
I feel like I've heard you say that one before.
Yeah. That came from your mate, Jordan Peterson. He said something along those lines.
Do you think Pete, is it?
Something along those lines. Yeah, it definitely was him.
JP, I've not seen him for a long time.
Yeah, he's kind of gone off planet a little bit.
At what point how do you determine if something is you being patient and something is you avoiding it?
Yeah, good question. I don't know.
Do you understand? Like it's there's certain elements.
Are you getting the result? Is it the result? At what time frame are you getting it in? You got to review it, I suppose. Had you been more aggressive? Had you been more hungry for it? Would it have happened quicker? Would you have got the result that you wanted quicker?
Well, I think the answer to that is always yes.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Yeah, the answer to that is always yes. But then there's also the element of like, I personally, like me, myself, I feel like I constantly feel like I'm behind. Constantly.
I think that's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. I agree. I sit there like, you know what?
People look at me, man, and say,
it's hunger.
You're killing it. You're doing this. I'm like, dude, am I? I haven't built a 40-story building that funded by myself yet. All right? I'm not fucking, what's it called? Turner. Gurner, sorry. What's that
Turner.
Yeah.
That's what we call him.
Yeah, Turner. Because we're mates.
You guys are not, no.
Yeah, that's it. But you know what I mean? Like, that's where you can go, well, yeah, I haven't funded my own project that's fucking $500 million. So am I doing enough? But other people will look at you and go, fuck, you're killing it. Smashing it.
Yeah, but then, so the other side of that is like, one side is like you're putting pressure on yourself. The other side is like, you're going to get complacent.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that's a bad thing. If you're an ambitious person, I think you'll probably get that more than not.
I don't think it's a bad thing either. But it's like, what's the other, how do you, I guess maybe there's no line with it. But if I know and I feel like that about myself, I believe I'm always going to push myself further than most people. And then it's like, well, do you have that expectation of everyone around you to do the same thing? And is that realistic? You know, you could turn around and say, okay, Alex Hormozy expects his employees to work 20 out of 21 days.
Yeah.
Neither of us expect that
out
of our employees.
Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
should we though? Should we turn around and say, hey, yeah, he's right. No wonder why he can do 100 mil in 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's like he's getting his employees to work 16-hour days, 20 days in a row.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how do you, I don't know. That's just a question that's in my head, man. It's like, how do you know when enough is enough? How do you know you're doing the most you can? And it's like, do you need to push so far to the edge that you feel the edge and almost fall off? And it's like, all right, cool. Like we've kind of tested the boundary here. The conversation with the client really opened my eyes to that thing. I felt myself kind of justifying someone's position.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, look, an hour real, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, no. And I was like, you're fucking right. Like, no, why the fuck am I?
Why accepting it?
I'm almost conditioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's almost like I've conditioned myself to start to believe, like, you know what? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay, we gotta be a little bit more patient with them. And it's like, well, why?
Yep. I completely agree.
Yeah, and then I got pissed off. No, it was because I was like, you know what? You're fucking right, dude.
Hey, and this is where an ambitious person will pick up stuff like that. on themselves eventually. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you were that more complacent person, be like, no, it's 5's okay. 5's good, man. Trust me, I know. 5's all right.
Yeah, but then, okay, so then it's like, well, is it?
I don't know. I get what you're saying. It's
and it's
that
like,
battle.
Yeah.
It's that battle. That battle. But anyway, something that shouldn't be a battle is subscribing to this podcast. I know we started it off that way, and we also need to finish it that way because we are on a mission to reach as many people as we possibly can in this world. You know, that's what this has been about, this whole $1 Million a Day journey. It's not just documenting our process, what we're about and how we go about things. It's also to help people and reach more people and connect with people. So we would love it if you guys would subscribe anywhere, not just YouTube, but any channel that we got going on.
Yeah, and also we are putting a heavy push with everything we're doing for this podcast in 2026.
Yeah.
And the goal is going to be to get more people on the podcast for you guys to learn from as well. We want you guys to take as much as you can from this. And if you're listening and you think you're someone that can add value to the audience, go to milliondollardays.com.au/guests, and there's a form on there that you can fill out. And if we think you're a fit, we'll get in touch.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's not just a yarn. It is more, you know, what value can you add to everyone else listening? You know, have you run a business successfully? Have you navigated life situations? Have you, what is it about your story or your situation that you think people can get something out of? And if you share that with us and we think it's going to be of good value, we'll invite you into the studio.
Absolutely.
And we'll get you on for an episode. We're gonna have a huge push towards this in the coming year.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna aim for, should we say, at least every second episode.
Yeah, have someone on new.
Yeah, the goals are going to be we're going to go for every second episode to have someone new on, to get them on for a conversation. Anything, you know, entrepreneurship, life, business, you know, mindset kind of conversations, and bring more to you. 2026.
Love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time as always. Cannot wait to see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.